Ifeanyi Okorie had everything a man could ever want. At just 31, he was the brilliant mind behind Okorie Tech Solutions, a Nigerian tech billionaire living a life of unimaginable luxury in Atlanta. His name echoed in boardrooms, his face graced magazine covers, and his wealth could move mountains. He had fame, power, and the most beautiful women in the world vying for his attention. But every night, in his sprawling Buckhead penthouse overlooking the glittering city, an old, familiar emptiness would settle in. None of the glamour, none of the success, could fill the void left by one person, Zainab Bello, his first love, the girl he lost in secondary school. One cold, rainy Atlanta night, that emptiness was about to be shattered. Ifeanyi was on his way to a charity gala, his Bentley gliding silently through the wet streets. As he stepped out, a scene under a flickering streetlight caught his eye. A woman, drenched to the bone, was begging on the sidewalk, two small children shivering beside her. He felt a pang of sympathy, but as he moved closer, the woman looked up. Her eyes met his, and in that instant, Ifeanyi's world stopped spinning. It was Zainab, the same Zainab who had vanished from his life 12 years ago without a word, without a trace. Huddled against her were two twins, a boy and a girl, their small bodies trembling from the cold. But it was their eyes that sent a jolt through Ifeanyi's soul. They were hauntingly familiar. As he stood there, frozen in disbelief, the little girl, Zara, tugged on her mother's arm and whispered, "Mama, is that him?" The question hung in the rainy air, a terrifying, beautiful possibility that made Ifeanyi's heart pound against his ribs. Who was him? And why did these children look at him with a glimmer of recognition? His mind raced back to Benjamin E. Mays High School. He was a determined kid raised by his devout grandmother, Mama Dorothy, who taught him faith and the value of hard work. Zainab was the quiet, brilliant girl who dreamed of being a writer. They found each other amidst the struggles of their youth, their love a beacon of hope for a future they planned to build together, hand in hand. Their connection was deep, pure, and felt unbreakable. Ifeanyi had been so sure of their future that he secretly saved up every dollar he could to buy her a ring. The plan was perfect, a proposal at Piedmont Park right after graduation. Zainab had promised she'd be there. He waited for hours, the ring box heavy in his pocket, but she never came. By the next morning, she and her mother were gone. Their apartment was empty. Her phone was disconnected. No note, no call, no goodbye. Just a gaping hole where his heart used to be. For 12 long years, that wound had never fully healed. He had searched for her, called every number he could think of, but it was like she'd vanished from the face of the earth. Eventually, the pain became a fire that fueled his ambition. He poured his broken heart into his studies, then into his business, building an empire on the ashes of his first love. His grandmother passed away, and he often wondered if Zainab ever knew. Now, after all this time, fate had thrown her back into his life, not as the bright, hopeful girl he remembered, but as a desperate woman begging on a street corner. As he looked at her, he realized this was more than just poverty. Zainab's eyes darted around nervously, scanning the street as if she were being hunted. When he spoke her name, terror flashed across her face. "Ifeanyi, please," she begged, her voice a raw whisper. "Walk away. Pretend you never saw me." But before he could process her words, her son, Jamil, blurted out, "A bad man is looking for us. His name is Dominic." The fear in the boy's voice was real and immediate. In that moment, the billionaire, the tech mogul, the man on his way to a gala, disappeared. All that was left was the boy who had loved this woman with all his heart. He wasn't about to lose her again. Ignoring her pleas, he wrapped his expensive suit jacket around her shoulders, telling his driver to get them in the car. He wasn't just offering a handout, he was offering a lifeline. His first stop wasn't his penthouse, but a warm, dry restaurant where he ordered them anything they wanted. But their moment of peace was short-lived. Just as the twins were taking their first warm bites, a black SUV screeched to a halt outside. A menacing man, Dominic, stormed into the restaurant, his eyes locked on Zainab. He grabbed her arm, trying to drag her and the children away. Ifeanyi stood up, shielding them. The confrontation was swift and brutal. Ifeanyi, using the full weight of his power, threatened Dominic with police action and legal ruin. Defeated for the moment, Dominic retreated, spitting a vow of revenge before speeding off into the night. Finally safe in the fortress-like security of Ifeanyi's penthouse, the truth came pouring out. 12 years ago, Zainab's estranged father, a violent criminal, had been released from prison. He'd shown up, threatening to destroy everyone she loved, including Ifeanyi. To protect him, Zainab's mother forced them to flee overnight, adopting new identities and disappearing into the shadows. She had sacrificed their love to save his life. Years later, while living in Houston and caring for her sick mother, she met Dominic. He seemed like a savior, a kind man who helped them through their darkest days. But it was all a lie. After she became pregnant with the twins, his true nature emerged. He became a monster, controlling, abusive, and manipulative. He trapped her with a web of legal threats and fake documents, making her a prisoner in her own life. The final straw came when Dominic began to show a disturbing, unhealthy interest in their daughter, Zara. A mother's instinct is a powerful thing. Zainab knew she had to get her children away from him, no matter the cost. Using a small stash of money she'd hidden over the years, she escaped in the dead of night, running back to Atlanta, hoping to get lost in the city where she once felt safe. Instead of disappearing, she ran straight into the arms of the man she'd spent 12 years trying to protect. Now, Ifeanyi wasn't just a billionaire, he was a warrior. He hired the best lawyers and private investigators in the country. They quickly uncovered Dominic's criminal enterprise, exposing him as a money launderer with a history of violence. Emergency restraining orders were filed, and a fierce custody battle began. For the first time in their young lives, Jamil and Zara finally felt safe. They began to laugh, to play, to be children. In the quiet moments, a new family began to form. The four of them, Ifeanyi, Zainab, and the twins, started piecing together the broken fragments of their lives. Though the twins were not his by blood, Ifeanyi declared them his by choice, his by love, and his by protection. He was their father in every way that mattered. Their story is a powerful reminder that true love can survive time, trauma, and unimaginable distance. It shows that money is meaningless without loyalty and sacrifice, and that a mother's courage can change the course of generations. And above all, it proves that no matter how far you run, you can never outrun destiny. Thanks for watching. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe for more.